Hello, I'm Shafak. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Hipporello Service Desk and the Asana integration we recently launched. Hipporello Service Desk is actually a product that allows you to receive requests from your external customers via forms or email. In other words, your external customers can send you their requests either through a user portal link you provide or via an email address. It enables a task or ticket to be created on the platform you use. Now, first of all, Hipporello Service Desk is something we've set up on our project in Asana. So you need to have a project. You can go to hipporello.com right away and choose one of the 3 platforms there. Today, we'll be moving forward with Asana. You can click on Asana, then click Get Started Free to proceed. Or you can check out the details here. As I mentioned, we provide you with a portal. You can create forms. When you fill out these forms, these requests are created in your Asana project. Here we talk about our features. The pricing is also here. Now let's do the setup. I set it up before, there's one already. I'll make a new one. For now, I'm calling this test company here. But of course, if you want, you can always enter your own website address. You can see and select the name of your project. This is the Hipporello admin panel. After the setup, you'll land here. There's a warning here. For Asana, you can add a widget area like this inside tasks. This way, you can track the tickets that are created more easily. You can click Add Widget Now and add it to your project. During this process, you need to grant permission. Yes, it's been added. Now we can close this. We can continue from here. Now, on our left menu, we have sections like All Tickets, Connected Projects, Forms, Emails, and User Portal. Today, we'll proceed with the form and also take a look at the user portal. But first, let me show you the portal we created for you as soon as you registered. You can change this area however you like, including the name here. You can enter your domain name or custom domain. I'll talk about these as well. As you can see, you now have a user portal that you can provide to your users, and there are 3 predefined forms here. If you wish, you can remove or change these. There is a button that allows your users to log in and register. This way, you can also choose which users can see which forms. For example, let's test the Contact Us form. Fill form for someone. Yes, now this submission we just made, that is, the form your customer filled out online, has created a completely new task in your Asana project right here. Look, message by John Doe. There are also 2 comments right here, as you can see. We click on it right away. Here is the version with the widget I mentioned added. So this task is linked to a ticket in Hipporello. Naturally, you can also track it from there, and you can see its status, who requested it, the time, and its ID. In the description section, there's a summary of this form. At the bottom, we can also see the answers that were given. Here, after the user sends a message, an automatic message is sent to the user. That way, their message doesn't go unanswered. But if you want, you can also write a reply right here and send it. So we can write a response to our user here and send it. The reply you send from here is also sent as an email notification to the person who filled out the form. We already saw that here. Also, when they go to the View Request Details section on this page or log in here with the email they used to fill out the form, they can continue to see the details. Look, first the user filled out the form. The system sent an automatic reply. Then, as an agent, you sent a response through Asana. From here, the user can rate your service. If the process related to the ticket is completed, they can close it themselves from here. They can also view some details from here. If they want, they can share this with their colleagues as well. Now, I want to switch over to the admin side a bit. You can actually access the admin panel from this address, and here you can make settings related to your forms and service desk. Now, I want to make an improvement to one of the forms. For example, I'm going to add something to the Contact Us form. As you can see, this is a form builder. Here, you can see the current elements of the form. On the left side, there are elements you can add. On the right side, if you select something, there are some settings you can edit. Now, I want to make an addition like this. Specifically, I'm going to insert a yes or no element right here and label it as, do you have an attachment? For clarity. And if they have an attachment, I want the attachment section to appear when I select yes. To do this, we need to write a condition right here and now in our code. So if we click on the visibility section, which you can find on the right side of the selected element, and then add a condition, we need to set this condition so that it checks whether do you have an attachment is equal to true. This means that whenever the answer to this question is yes, which indicates that an attachment is present, the attachment section will then be displayed on the screen. In other words, the attachment section only becomes visible when the user has selected yes for having an attachment. This actually allows you to make a lot of customizations. It's one of the features I really like. So, how can we set what happens when the Submit button is pressed? We can do that right from the Submit Actions section above. In summary, when the form is submitted, Hipporello Service Desk creates a task in Asana. Here, you can customize details like what the task's name will be, which section it will be created in, what the description will be, and who it will be assigned to. You set this up once, and it works the same way for everyone. The variables here already represent that. So you can think of it as creating a task from the first name and last name fields in the message by form. If we want, we can also include the name of this form here. For example, let's check right away form name. Yes, I think it would actually be better to put the form name at the beginning. I just deleted the message right here, right now. Form name. So here the form's name will be something like first name, last name. I'm not changing the section name. I already showed it in the task description. It sends a summary. If you want to return this form to someone, you can use these. You can use tags the same way. Since there are no tags for now, I'm choosing assigning. Below is the screen after form fill. Customize this screen. Change icon. Text. Skipping. Another great feature is actually automation. So you can create an automation to make things easier. For example, when this form is filled out and the Submit button is pressed, an Asana task is created. And when the Asana task is created, you can set it to send a message to the user. The automatic message I showed earlier in the video actually comes from here. So you can automatically send a message to your users the very moment they fill out the form. Or if you prefer, you can send a message when the request is finally closed. Or when you click the complete icon on the Asana task, you might also close the ticket that is the request in Hipporello Service Desk. If you want, you can also set up other different scenarios here. For example, when an Asana task is created, we can have an Asana comment added. Automation comment test. So when an Asana task is created, we can tell it to leave a comment on that task. I did this as an example. You can try it out according to your own workflow. Now let me talk about the access section. Access is actually about who can access the form, who can see the form. Our default access policy is public, meaning anyone who can access the user portal can also see the form. But here we can do something like this. We can simply configure it to private access and then define access by email domains or by specifying specific email addresses. For example, if we say acmecompany.com, we can set it so that only users who log into the portal with an Acme Company email address can see this form. For now, I'm just going to skip this. You can use it as needed. Here we have the general settings. From here, you can update the form's information. And another important feature is embedding. If you only want to add the Contact Us form to your website, you can get the embed code from here, change some of the form's colors, and embed just that form on your site. If you don't want to use the user portal, or you can use both together. Now I'm going to publish from here. And let's see if the questions we added have appeared. Yes, they've shown up here. So right now, as soon as I fill this out and make a selection, I can upload an attachment. We have an attachment upload input like this. When you send this, it will actually reach Asana. That's all I have to mention here for now. But one of the most important things is that our customers want to customize the appearance here according to their company colors and corporate identity. Let me talk a bit about that. For this, we go back to the admin panel, to admin.hipporello.com. Then we go to the user portal section here and enter the preview and customize section. Here you already have a preview on the right side, and on the left side you can see the areas where you can make edits. Let me quickly make an edit right here just to show you. You can delete the cover image here. That way, a color appears in the background with a pattern in front of it. We can change the color from here. That's a nice color. I want to use the same color for the primary color as well. I'm not touching anything else. If you want, you can also change the fonts. Yes, you can adjust areas like the favicon, social share image, cover image, and logo to match your style. There's also a homepage layout here. This actually refers to the sections on the right side. So what will be written here? The setting to enable or disable the search box. Your website address. You can enter this information. When there's a bit more, a box starts to appear here. You can make edits to the forms. Right now, we have 3 forms and all of them are listed. But by unchecking this option, we can make it so that only Contact Us and Customer Support are visible. That way, this section gets updated. You also have the ability to reorder them among themselves. Footer area is here. If you want, you can add things like this. And actually, you can add another form or a form group here. You can add an enhancement, or if you want to embed something, you can add it here. Now, I wanted to show the enhancement. You can also change its position like this by grabbing it from the corner. For the enhancement, yes, we've written this. Now I'm saving this section. We can click and view it, but I'll make one more adjustment. We'll check it out afterward. Now, in the user portal, there's also a domain setting. This domain setting actually allows us to change it. And if you want, you can use it on your own domain without using hipporello.net. For that, it's enough to just follow the steps here. In the next step, we explain what needs to be done. But we can fix this. Let's fix it. I'm recording now. Yes, now we won't be able to access it from this address anymore. Let's see if it updates right away. Yes, as you can see, it's now at the Acne Test Comp address. The colors are just as we arranged them. The forms are just as we set them up. All went as planned. Actually, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video. I'll explain the other sections in the following parts, but I want to briefly take a moment to talk about this all tickets area or section, just like how tasks are created and managed in Asana. You can also easily track these tasks right here in Hipporello. So on the Hipporello side, you can access these as well. Look, when you click on all tickets on the page that opens, you can actually see all the tickets that have come in so far right here. We can open and close this side panel. If we want, we can look at the information here. We can click to access the task in Asana. Let's close this. From here, you can respond and actually continue the communication. Sending a message here emails it to the forms respondent. Clicking the link in the email lets them view this request details in the user portal. Yes, that's all I wanted to mention for now. From the moment you leave a comment with Hipporello, it gives you a 14-day premium trial. You can test it out and try using it for your company or organization. See you soon.